Greetings, fellow Terrans. Professor Vicky here with the next episode for Terra Invicta. Just as a quick recap from last one, successfully took the first 5 points in the United States and then immediately abandoned Mexico and Canada. We also have Kazakhstan, and that's it. We're already over our cap just by trying to hold most of the United States and Kazakhstan. But this is a very strong start. Now, in the United States, I'm mostly doing welfare. I'm trying to get the cohesion back up to 5 to maximize research. Inequality is being reduced here, and inequality is one of the big things driving my cohesion to be too low. This will also help me with getting the unrest back down, although this will come back down naturally. And then I have a little bit in unity, popular opinion. I have some in funding, even though it's inefficient, because I can't spoils, thanks to the House rule, and so I need another source of cash. This is how I'm going to be doing it. You know, the Academy does grant requests properly through funding. We don't loot our countries. And then I also have a little bit in boost because when the big negative event hits, I'm going to lose access to a bunch of boost. And because I'm not planning on coupping. Well, actually, I can coup. His command's really terrible. Their support kind of cancel itself out, so it's just command versus cohesion and total population. And he only has 2 command, so I might get some good orgs. For that I need money, but let's see. Alright, so leave it alone. He's just going to keep doing the public campaigns to make sure no one steals my points when I'm way above my control cap. And off we go. Oh, and one last thing. So I am moving the army in South Korea over back home. This is because I was in humanity first. There we go. So I'm moving the United States Army back home because if you deploy your army overseas, away from the home region, or it's fighting actively, you lose an extra investment point, so this will make US produce just a little bit extra in terms of output. Okay, now let's begin. Okay, so advanced carbon manipulation is done, and the servants pick something good. They picked outpost habitats. That helps advance us towards space. That's one of the techs we need. It unlocks some other things like space mining. So that's a great tech, and I love to see them pick that up. Thank you, servants. And I'll be able to pick one right away. I think I'll be picking Deep Assistance Skywatch. That completing is what triggers the event, the nasty event, where you lose tons of public opinion, your points get cracked down. And the reason I'm doing it now is because the US is huge. Even if the points are cracked down, it's really hard to purge them. Humanity First, an initiative where it's successful at purging me out of Canada. US is so big, they can't do it. And just hopefully I get lucky with Kazakhstan, but if I get purged out of Kazakhstan, I can just retake it. Kazakhstan's easy to retake. I'm just trying to get my public opinion up. So when the negative event happens and we discover that it turns out the aliens aren't fans of free trade after all, we still have some support. Same reason why I'm pushing my public opinion up here with unity in the United States, because I'm trying to, again, to fix that. Make sure it's not so bad when the event actually hits me. Okay, so we have siege control of orbital shipbuilding. The tech itself will eventually be useful, but we don't need it right now. And it's time to go for Deep System Skywatch. So once this fires, it's going to be a really awful time for us, but the sooner we get it done with, the better. So, I will... Yeah, I'll let the resistance run it because it's only going to change the speed of it. So in about a month, I am going to get hit with a really nasty event. Alright, so we have finally finished. We are not alone. No one helped me with it, even though it's a really critical global attack because it unlocks clandestine cells in your 5th counselor. And Commander Fiona thinks because they can end us, we have to fight them. It's not necessarily true, guys. Of course, they're not here to fight us. They're here to promote free trade. Okay, so this is done. And it unlocks a bunch of ones. So Arrival Markets is a great one to pick up. Institutional Outreach, both of these help you with organizations. Corridor Diplomacy will help you with control point capacity. And let's see. There's just so many good ones to pick up, honestly. I'm not sure which one to pick. Probably good to take deep space propulsion because getting over to nuclear fission in space, to the nuclear freighters, is going to be probably the hardest one to reach. Yes. And it's fairly cheap. Yeah, we'll go with that. And hopefully I still manage to hold on to some of the other global text, and then I can continue to direct global research for at least a little bit. Once the event fires, I probably won't be able to redirect global research anymore. They're really pushing hard against me here, aren't they? Let's bring up unity a bit. There we go. We have clandestine cells. So I'm going to immediately there. And end of March, I'll be able to get my 5th counselor. Okay, so I have successfully held on to Outpost Habs, key tech for space mining. I don't really want to go for a mission to Moon or mission to Mars yet. We're not ready for it. Don't have nearly enough boost. Hold on. So I'm already doing clandestine cells. I'm already doing 2 space science. So I don't want to do a 3rd space science, certainly. Honestly, probably want to go for the orgs. And domestic politics is a little bit cheaper, so I'll go with that one.
Chancellor, we must understand the alien motives and attempt a proper first contact before it is too late.
Okay, so I'm just quietly working on alien methods, research all this time, and we are learning some concerning things about the alien abductions. They started with animals, then they went after humans, then they went after important and influential humans. And as our researchers say, this is most likely them learning about Earth biology, then human biology, and then attempts to gain influence. There's not really a very plausible, friendly explanation for this. After all, we did not find any informed consent things signed by the basically victims of their abductions. And therefore we're having a lot of arguments internally over people who are still pro-alien somehow and anti-alien. Yes, we're going to have problems. This is sort of a preview of what's going to happen with Deep System Skywatch. But now we need to advance the story, we need to learn more about the aliens. So we need to investigate them doing things to with their abductees. And I mean, eventually I'll need things like Outpost Core, but more control point cap sounds nice, and there's nothing else super critical in terms of projects. Also, I don't have any bonuses, so I can't dilute my bonus.
How could one so young, coddled as you are by the modern world, begin to understand what war is? I did what had to be done. Closing your eyes and wishing the monster away only makes you an easier meal. Colonel Hans Castillo, during a war crimes trial.
Alright, war crimes trial. Yeah, Hans Castillo's definitely the kind of guy to be tried for war crimes. Because humanity first, that's their thing. Alright, so we finished using some Skywatch. In just a second, we're going to detect all the alien ships and infrastructure. In fact, that's showing up right here. It's going to show up after I close this. And of course, it's all going to be peaceful trading vessels, right? Battle stations. Shipyards. Battle station. I guess they're not here for trade after all, huh? Yeah, so in a few days, the event will trigger, which will be very painful. It's just advanced time. Oh yes, I need to select the next tech. This is probably one of the few times I'll be selecting the next tech for over the next year. And not mission to Mars or Moon. I'm not ready for those yet. That would help with the boost. This is good for rival markets. Yes, orgs are going to be... Getting a good org would be nice. I'm not getting good orgs right now, so hopefully more chances for that. And well, it doesn't matter. I won't be able to take control because I'll lose a bunch of research. Surely at least one of these points will get cracked down, and that's going to be bad for me.
Every circumstance is an opportunity. Our test is to recognize and seize it.
Okay, well, we've encountered the initiative. The event still hasn't triggered. I'm not sure why it's taking so long, but here's the last of the factions we haven't met yet. Initiative is the other business team faction. They are kind of the opposite of us. They are extremely cynical, immoral really. If you play through their storyline, you'll see that they are incredibly evil, even more evil than the aliens practically. And we're probably gonna, by necessity, be hostile with them. The two factions we can get along with the best are probably Resistance and Project Exodus. These guys are some of the ones we get along with the least. Deep Space Propulsion Concepts, Protectorate got it, and they picked Arrival International Relations, which is actually pretty good. That's going to be helpful for there's some useful projects behind this one, so they chose well. And yeah, and like I said, Initiative, they're extremely callous towards anyone not themselves. Very selfish. So this one unlocks corridor diplomacy, which is the key one here. Also, Common Cause is a good one for control point cap as well. So it's actually great that they did it. I'm not going to contest it right now. I'm trying to get contested cells so I get my 5th counselor. And here we go. They have not come in peace. I'm surprised it took this long. So half of our control points, every single one, has a 50% chance of getting cracked down. And then global opinion in every country in the world, we have a very negative movement there. Everyone, cohesion changes as well, but that's not relevant to us. So Kazakhstan right now is at 68%. The United States is at 64%. It's going to go a lot lower for both of those. Right now we're at 55% with China. Unfortunately, it's going to drop a bunch, and it's going to be tough to break in, but I have a plan. And let's see. Oh yeah, and global support right now. Let's pull that up too. So right now I'm at 29% globally. So again, 60s for Kazakhstan and US, 55 for China. Let's see how bad it is. Alright, regional authorities we lost in the US. We lost corporations in the US. We lost the mass media, uh-oh. That's it. Oh, so we didn't lose Kazakhstan. And we lost 3 of the 5 points in the United States. And US is down to only 16%. China is now down to 17%. Kazakhstan down to 19%. So I am going to do an emergency shift to unity on everyone. Well, at least for the control points I still have access to. If I do unity here, it won't actually help me, but this will actually help. But putting unity here will help public opinion. And those will be pure unity because I need to get public opinion back up quickly. Now, fortunately for me, in some ways, I only have crackdown points in the US. The US is a very large economy, so it's going to be hard to purge. But I want public opinion back up, so it'll help with my cohesion. Because my public opinion is so low, there's a huge difference between who controls the points, the elite public ideology differences, and what the people of America believe in. So I need to bring that back up to get my cohesion fixed. Improving the welfare will help too. And of course, because I'm not getting all the research and funding and stuff from this, I'm losing a lot of money now. My money income has dropped a lot. But because Kazakhstan is not cracked down in the presidency in 30 days, I can withdraw from the Confederacy and I keep all of them boost. So my boost income is bad now, but it'll be pretty good in just a little bit. Yeah, I could actually contest some of these. Not that one. This would move me back, wouldn't even move me back a single mission phase. So yeah, I'm going to try and get, at least still maintain control of one. And I forgot to show, my global opinion is now down to 8%. I was 20-something%, right? So I'm in really bad shape in terms of global opinion, which means my influence dropped a lot. Or my income dropped a lot. It works. Oh. Alright, excellent. So I have a good org, and I can afford it. Even better. So this org gives me an extra 3 admin, so that's 3 control point cost, and only costs 2 admin to equip. So I can equip it to Shi here, and he'll have extra room. Let's see, so he is my guy to break into China. He's up to 11, and my plan is I can give him National Hero. So he gets +3 persuasion when in China, and that's going to help him a lot with trying to do the control nation. It'd be nice if he had public campaign as well, though. So I have 1 extra tech here. Unfortunately, Iron Rose costs 2. But I could move... Yeah, I can move Capricorn off to someone else, put that guy on, and then he would get an extra persuasion, so he'd be up to 12. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna... 18. I might wait an extra turn, because I probably can't afford to shift around orgs right now, because my money is very tight. I could recruit the FBI. Unfortunately, the FBI would cost me a ton of money that I can't afford to do that.
Standing by.
Okay, so I'm not quite ready to break into China, but in order to help do that, I need to get into countries that border. And I have a ton of control point capacity available now because I'm missing 3 times 33, well, 34 effectively. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be going after all the countries that border, which includes Russia. Can I take Russia? Yes, I can take points in Russia. I have plenty of influence, so I will go up there.
We'll bring this nation to our side.
At your service.
That won't work.
Ready.
In addition to going after Russia, I think... yeah, he could do it, but it'd be difficult. I can purge out in Myanmar. This gives me... they're adjacent to China, so that gives me some pressure when I'm trying to do control nation or public campaigns. And since it's cracked down, I have a very high 8, 10, plus 10 on my rolls here. But thanks to the United States being so large national economy, you can't actually purge it, at least at the very beginning. So yes, I'll purge the initiative.
Targeting the opposition.
After all, the initiative has been targeting me up in Canada. And I can't... if there's nothing... nobody has any open points besides Russia for me to take from there. So what I'll do instead...
taking
is
control.
take these little countries down...
Ready for my mission.
down there.
I will tell our story.
Okay, so the reason I'm taking these countries down here, I will eventually have to abandon them, but I can redirect their priorities. So for instance, they can work on funding or building a space program, probably funding, and I'll hold on to them until I have to throw them out, and I'll get a little bit of extra money from doing that. Not a lot, but like basically right now my control point camp is all going towards refilling it up, probably filling it up with Russia points, and then removing Kazakhstan, picking off these guys as well to try and put more pressure on China so I can get to the point where I can get my public opinion back up and then try and take a point or two. Okay. And I should have the next counselor very, very soon. Okay, I have clandestine cells. I can recruit additional counselor, I get an extra 10 control point cap. Hopefully it'll help me take more points in China. Looking at it, the big issue with her is age could be maybe an issue, and also ethical. If I get unlucky with atrocities, I might have problems. But she'd be pretty good second persuasion once I eventually replace she here, especially because she's a quick learner. And also, most importantly, she has defend interest, which will help prevent people from taking my control points. I don't have anyone with it right now. I kind of want it badly. So she is the next member of the team. If you want her to be renamed, let me know. We have consolidated Kazakhstan, and we're going to remove them from Russia because we'll lose Russia pretty quickly. So we're going to leave the Federation. And while we will lose some boost from our Russian points, we now have 100% of the boost coming to us. So our boost income is gone up quite a bit, up to 3.6, and that's with 3 missing US points. And my public opinion is looking pretty good here, so I'm going to switch back over to mission control.
Inquiries have uncovered more disturbing information, Chancellor.
Alright, so we have investigated the returned abductees. I've managed to find time for someone to go do that. And we're having issues with having our security forces not really sticking with us. Yeah. And so what they found is a government official who's gathering information on his superiors. Other cases of this. So the people who were abducted are acting strangely. They seem to be assisting their former captors. Obviously, it's not mind control. This isn't science fiction. This is hard science. Shut up, Hans Conceal. It can't possibly be mind control. But they're doing something weird. Maybe there's some sort of bribery, some sort of hold on them. Well, interesting. So, the United States is wanting me to do some work for them. I really don't want to lose. There's some pretty bad traits if you refuse to do this. Dirty work for the U.S. So, okay. Alright. So I still am actually maintaining control over one of the global techs. Domestic politics is finished. Once institutional outreach unlocks, I want that. And let's see what global tech we can get. So, chemical rocketry is a good one to get. We'll need mass drivers eventually. Don't want those yet. Photonic computing is important as well. There's so many good ones you need. But yeah, nuclear fission in space, because nuclear freighters is one of the hardest ones to reach in time. So we'll shoot. So this is the problem. So Russia's at war, and they committed war crimes, shockingly enough. And so we get hit with an atrocity. I wasn't even... I guess I could have ended the war if I was willing to waste an action on it. But yeah, so we have the trustee, and she's ethical, so she loses 1 loyalty. He's ethical, so he loses 1 loyalty. And that's it. But I lose 2 loyalty. Public opinion moves against me because of this. Pretty sure. So I'm at 17%. It would tick down just a tiny smidgen. All right. So, U.S. wants me to steal classified documents from Iran, probably about their nuclear weapons or something like that. And, well, I could pay money, but I can't afford it. Don't have... He's not a hacker, so I just gotta physically break in and hope I win the coin flip. I won the coin flip. Awesome. So he gets 20 XP, and he's not imprisoned for a bunch of turns. Alright, arrival economics is complete. Resistance picked mass drivers, which is great, because that's going to help me advance into space. Good choice, resistance. And here's Soren being a pretty horrible person again. Okay, arrival market should unlock really quickly, and I'm going to want to pick it up once it does. Alright, arrival international relations is done. Protectorate picked buyout tech. Not an ideal one, but it's okay. Hopefully we'll get corridor diplomacy soon, and I'll be able to get some more control point camp from that. More room for points in China. Okay. Mass drivers is done. Resistance has picked mission to the moon. So now I need to pivot a little bit, because we're going to be able to put things on the moon now, and I need to be able to put mines out there. So when nuclear fission finishes, I'll shift that, and then I'll make sure I have outpost core done before mission to moon, so 30th, 8th, so I will be able to put an outpost up right away in case there's anything good up there. Okay, so I finished nuclear fission in space. Next, as much as I'd like to get solid core to push towards nuclear freighters, getting the mine up is going to be really important too. So I'll be doing that. Mission to be done. Resistance pick mission to Mars. Alright, so we're pushing towards Mars real quickly now. And let's scout out the moon. Plus a little bit of boost of money. Soren being a jerk again. And they made Ant Astra, which not what I would have preferred, but oh well. Alright, probe has arrived at Luna. Nothing amazing for Fizzouts, although there's a lot of okay ones. Let's go there. So what you really want for an initial mine on Moon is you want some metals, and then some water and volatiles to help pay for it. Shackleton. Yeah, so a mine here would get you some metals so you could pay for modules on Mars without using too much boost. And then there's enough water and volatiles to pay for itself. And it has a bunch of Fizzouts too, so it would help pay for... Yeah, this is a good one. And just see, is there anything else that would be better? No, not really. That's really the main use for the moon mine, or Luna mine. Let's get you some space resources that would let you avoid paying too much in boost when you go to Mars. And we're going to be going to Mars soon. Mission to Mars is going to be in March. So I'm rushing to try to get space mining up as quickly as I can without jeopardizing other research. Alright, so I'm going to claim Shackleton. It's going to cost 9 boost. Found an outpost here in Shackleton. 30 days to get there. I'll have to pay more boost to get solar panels and the mine up. Got the achievement. So the mine would go there, and you would need to... Let's see, so solar collector would be 10. I might as well wait on that until I get the mine. I can actually build a mine. Because I have to research, finish this, and then I have to finish the tech, the project. Alright, so we have our first outpost.
Chancellor, given their technological superiority, there must be some reason they have not resorted to genocide. That reason may be our opening.
Alright, so we're finished through the alien research operations. It's confusing, they're being so hostile, and yet they're not taking advantage of them being on top of the gravity well, and we're at the bottom. And no, it's probably not because of ethical concerns. Unfortunately, they seem to not have IRB approval for this, or any IRB at all, perhaps. Countries are rapidly falling under alien slave, like perhaps China. I'm trying to fix that, though. So they are probably intending to conquer us, and we don't really know why. And we have to make a choice here. So we have our peace faction inside us. We're trying to reach some sort of treaty with them. This is basically what the Protectorate wants. Or the war faction, which is basically what the resistance wants. And then there's the handful of people who want free trade, like me and Chancellor here. And we now have the objective for our goals. We get our new faction org. We would get 100 influence. And it costs 25,000 science. So this is the tech that gets you your faction org. This is one of the other reasons why the Academy is so weak, or so difficult. Because all the other factions, they're paying between 2,500 and 5,000. We have to pay 25,000. We are paying way more in research. I can't really do this. Like if I was doing this, I'm gonna have to take 20 years. It's not feasible. Not feasible at all. So I'll get to it eventually. But I can't get it to now, and also the org you get is not that good. We also have this panel up here. This tells us how hostile they think we are. Basically, they're not worried about us right now. That might change. Oh no. Oh wow. Okay, so I have two really good techs here, or orgs here. This one would get public campaign 2, and I can pay money for it. Okay, so this is great. This is really great. I'll give you admin. Eventually I'll put things on you. Hopefully something that gives me ops. Okay, so I can pay 600. Now he's at 13. I can pay 112. 22 influence. I've burned all my influence, but now he's up to 18 when doing persuasion in China, which this better be.
Ready for my mission.
Yes, he has a really high chance of getting public opinion. I'd even have pretty decent shots at swings here. So let's spend a little bit of money.
We must persuade the people.
And start pushing public opinion back towards me. Space mining and refining is done. So now we can, once this project unlocks, which should happen within a day or two, I can research that and then I can build a mine. Okay, so I could try for nuclear freighters, but it's going to cost 5,000 energy science. Mission to Mars is going to be done in a couple months, and that's not going to happen. I might be able to get... So chemical rocketry can maybe help, especially if I get the interplanetary chemical rockets. And yeah, that's what I'm going to go for. I don't need to really prioritize it too much. Let's see if I can finish off rival markets. And the first lunar base is founded, but we can't do any mining yet, so it's just going to sit there.
Ready to go.
Yeah, there we go. Okay, so he's maxed out, and with all sorts of persuasion on him, he's got 17. And that gives him 43% chance. And even though I failed the public campaign. And once I can get in,
We'll be running this place in no
I think that's a good place to stop. We are set up to move into China. We got about a coin flip shot each time with Xi here. And within a few months, we should be getting our first point in China, at which point I will promptly abandon all of these Caribbean control points in order to stay within my control point cap. Probably end up abandoning Mexico at some point too. And I've got a lot of points surrounding here, including, say, in Russia, that I'd probably abandon as well. Not ideal if humanity first takes Russia, but they're a little less nuke happy than they were in previous patches. So next time we'll be building that mine on the moon, going into Mars, going to China. Lots of exciting things next episode. See you then.